Eric Strober, Cindy Dole. You're listening not to Green
guys.
Acres, but to Home Wizards,
That's right.
where we improve your home and improve your life.
Well, and farm living is a life
and
for
farm
me.
living. And who isn't farming?
It seems to
It's all
be
about
kind of
it.
the rage
It's
now,
all- well,
right?
it's about being kind to the farmer and thinking about ways to live a life where it is a little more, I guess it's a little healthier, it's a little more sustainable, things like that. And so, I mean, there's all these stores, there's all these websites, it's everywhere around you. And when you hear the word green, sometimes you might go, there's greenwashing. There are companies and people that kind of try to get on the bandwagon.
Well, and it also, I would say a decade ago, it felt more like a fad and fashion, and now it just is necessity. Like, this is what we all have to do. I mean, it's kind of crazy not to encompass these practices in our lives, right? So, I to your point, yeah, greenwashing was a way of people sort of using it as a marketing tool. Now, it's just simply we got to do it.
And when you think about having a green kitchen, I mean, it certainly can be a complete remodel. I mean, where you totally go all green. I mean, everything that's in your kitchen is recycled, from the countertops to the flooring to everything, right? Where it's completely, zero off-gassing and all that stuff.
That's
but
right.
I thought we'd talk about, on a really simple level, just a few ways that you could, in the place where you are cooking, whether it's in an apartment or a house or wherever you live, you could just take baby steps to feel like you are being a little more green
Right.
in your kitchen. And it starts off by using cloth napkins. Now, when's the last time you used cloth napkins? Paper towels are everywhere.
You know what? I got to stop with the paper towels. I'm trying to integrate more of the cloth because
I love paper towels.
You know what I mean?
And I grew up with paper towels.
So did I.
But I also grew up with cloth napkins. And that was something that we used mainly, I want to say, on the weekends. And then, of course, for holidays.
Well, yeah, Thanksgiving we used the cloth. It was a
Right.
fancy of way to kind of dedicate a fancy night.
If you don't mind doing some laundry, come on. You could, in fact, you can even use your cloth napkin 2 nights in a row. I won't tell anybody.
I'm not going to say anything.
Why not? As long as you don't get that marinara sauce on it all over,
exactly.
right?
You know,
You're okay.
my kids' school, they have you bring cloth napkins for the lunches. It's kind of sweet.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that nice? Yeah.
That's kind of a nice, little ritual, right?
Yeah.
To kind of create a tradition.
That's it.
That's
Exactly
very nice.
right. Yeah.
Well, it makes you feel more special, and I'm a big believer in using your sterling silver. Not just on special occasions,
I know,
but all
right?
the time.
Why not? Because
why
once
not?
a year, forget
No,
it. I'm going to
you have
integrate it.
You
Yeah,
have
I'm
it.
using it.
It isn't like it's going to break.
No.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And won't you feel sad if all these years have gone by and you haven't enjoyed it? So,
Yeah, on
and
my
plus,
deathbed, I wish I'd used the stainless more.
I mean, and the
Dead.
sterling, and the poor sterling's feelings are getting hurt.
I agree.
So let's make a commitment that
All
we're
right.
going to use cloth napkins
doing it.
and sterling. Here, are you raising your hand?
Right now,
We're going to
here it
do
goes.
it at least once a week.
Once a week.
Every Sunday, I want to hear a report.
I
that
might
you've-
do it Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. So I for sure, though, on your family night on Sunday, I want to
Okay.
hear that you had cloth napkins and sterling.
Deal.
Promise.
Okay.
Double dog dare.
Double
you.
dog dare.
Okay.
Double dog done.
All right, so that's a way to do it, because now think about it. Paper products account for 1/3 of our waste here in this country.
Yeah.
And so that is a great way of doing a good deed.
And I got to tell you, with the 3 kids and the disposable diapers, after a while, you're just like, come on, we're going to continue to buy these paper products for the diaper?
Yeah.
Enough, all right.
Yeah.
Although the alternative cloth diapers,
That's a commitment.
probably for some folks that are a little bit older, would be like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. So we're not asking you to do that. We're just asking you to use a cloth
Yeah.
napkin, and if you have sterling silver, use that
Okay.
once a week, and then email us and let us know if you really are having a happier life and feeling like you're doing a good because you're saving a lot of trees.
Sure.
All right, buying in bulk. Now, I know. I got the phone call when you were there at Costco. I know what happens.
I do.
I saw it and I heard it.
You know what?
And you bought?
I went for coffee and nuts
And
and
what did
came
you buy
back
this
with
time?
a microwave and some skis.
No.
I don't know what happened, but it
Well,
did.
usually it has to do with some kind of it's a sauna. It's a
I know.
some kind of what's that electric massager thing? It's got some pulsing thing you put on your shoulder.
Yeah,
What is that?
It's like a
Little pads.
electromagnetic thing.
And you got that.
I got that. My kids put it on their face and they contort.
Great. But if you do buy more in bulk without getting distracted and buying all these other things that you may not need.
I know.
Buying bulk for dry goods can save on packaging and money. And I always remember my dad talking about how he used to work in the old days in the grocery store, and his job was to keep all the dry goods, in the containers full.
Right.
And he would always stay in the cookie section.
I don't blame him.
And
Good
then
call.
the supervisor would always say, "Keep whistling, Chuck," because he'd be eating cookies.
I
and
think
they knew
he's a genius, by the way. I love him.
So if he wasn't whistling, we know that he was getting a cookie.
That's hilarious. And for example, with the pet food, I've got now 2 dogs and a cat. And I have big containers now, plastic containers with lids that screw on. Uh-huh. And I take the big bags of dog food and I dump them in there. And
that's what we do too.
I think that's a good way to do it.
So buying bulk for dry goods, rice, dog food, all that stuff. But then the key is you don't want it to get bugs and things going on. So you want to make sure that you keep it protected and contained. Yeah. Even organic dried cranberries. On average, and I love dried cranberries in a salad, they on average are 98% less expensive than the packaged kind. They're so handy and convenient that you get like a little packet, but you could get, buy it by bulk. And it turns out that 1/4 to 1/3 of all domestic waste is packaging. Much of it is food packaging. So how sad is that?
Terrible.
So and a good buying club, by the way, is localharvest.org. That you can find out more about buying in bulk and finding a food or buying club near you to learn more of that. Okay,
right, great.
Recycling more. We're all trying to recycle. You recycle? What are you recycling?
I bought a blue colored container that goes next to my garbage can in the kitchen. So the kids
great.
now know that, the plastic, paper, all the other stuff goes there, and then, trash goes in the other. So I recycle everything.
Good.
Yeah.
So if you are buying bulk and also buying food and drinks in recyclable packaging, such as glass jars or tin cans, that's all good. Just try to avoid buying food and products with a lot of packaging in them, because then it's going to be difficult in terms of the recycling.
Right.
Okay. Use only eco-friendly sponges and dish towels.
Okay. And what is an eco-friendly? So it's a natural sponge rather than one that's manufactured?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. And most sponges are plastic and have the dyes, and you can get these sponges, you might see them, they look, they're just flat, and you basically just add water and then it puffs up.
I love those.
And you can buy those by 10 or a dozen or whatever.
I believe I use one of those in the shower.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
See?
A big fluffy
Isn't that great?
shower sponge.
So why not make your dishes feel
happy
with the fluff?
Why not? I'm going to try it, yeah.
So because most sponges do have that plastic and the dyes and the synthetic disinfectants, which, might be risky, use a sponge that has the natural and sustainable materials. And by the way, the sponges that are made also from wood fibers, they biodegrade in landfills and they go through a far less toxic manufacturing process.
Yeah, because the other ones don't. There's just a landfill full of sponges somewhere, isn't it?
And dish towels, so you're not only thinking of cloth towels for the dining room table or wherever you sit around and have your meals. It's also cheaper to skip the paper towels and go with dish towels in the sink. So we have a little drawer to the side and use that as often as you can to dry. Just make sure that you clean it and disinfect it, because now you're going to be spreading a lot of the germs.
Right.
That could be in the sink, right?
Sure,
the sink is like
one of the dirtiest places in the world.
The sink is dirtier than your toilet. Your kitchen
terrible?
Sink harbors more bugs and little things crawling around.
Don't put the vegetables in there to rinse them unless they're in a colander.
Don't cross-contaminate.
Don't do it.
Try to reuse your reusable shopping bags. Now, a lot of the grocery stores now are saying, hey, would you like to buy a bag? Because they're trying to reinforce, look, instead of getting a paper bag or even a plastic bag, bring a cloth bag from home.
Right.
When you go grocery shopping. Do you do that? Or?
Yeah, we do. We have bags from a couple of different stores. Yes, we do that. But on the other hand, if you do have the plastic bags, guess what? Some great decking materials are recycled from those plastic bags. Like Trex makes a product that uses garbage bags.
Yeah, I know. It's great. So, it is everyone. We're getting smarter and smarter.
Everybody's getting smart.
With our recycling. In fact, where we live, finally, we can now recycle CDs. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I didn't mean CDs. I mean VHS tapes.
Really?
Because we're on a mission to go through our drawers of old VHS tapes that have been collecting. Like we recorded Seinfeld, and we have old movies and things. And it's like, okay, we've seen it. We could probably buy the DVD. We could probably just get it on Netflix. But we have these, VHS tapes. Well, for the longest time,
I have boxes full of those.
For the longest time, the only way to recycle was for you to on your own take all the tape out and then just turn the vessel in to recycle it.
Really?
And then because it's the tape, it's the film, it's the bad stuff. But now check out with your local community, like mine. They now all you do is you put the entire VHS in the recycle bin. And bye-bye, and they will take care of that.
Guess I'm going to have to get rid of The Great Bachelor Party starring Tom Hanks on VHS.
But think, I mean, how many VHS tapes do you think you have in your house?
Because
100?
my wife's got so many because of all the things she
all of her
directs,
work.
all the
well,
old
then
stuff.
that's the other thing.
She had to transfer everything.
She already has.
Yeah, digitally.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because that becomes the thing where you put it off because those are great memories. And if it's your work, you need it.
Yeah, but try and find a VHS machine or a 3/4 deck somewhere in the world.
Can't.
It's virtually impossible.
Very hard. Although I have one, and I'd be happy to rent it out to you.
And I have bachelor party. Let's hang out.
You got the lava lamp? Cool.
I do.
Also, think of composting. I mean, composting, you might go, ooh, it's stinky. But start small with things like coffee grounds or eggshells.
Eggshells right into the garden helps with our root system, doesn't it?
Totally does.
Yeah.
So think about those things that don't have any odor, or even rice and pasta. That's all going to reduce your garbage output significantly. It's really good for the garden soil.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of other things that we would love to tell you about, and we're going to tell you about it because that's what we do. We love to improve your home and improve your life. In fact, how about figuring out ways to buy lumber? I mean, what is it about the whole different grades of wood? There's a trick to it, right?
There's a little bit of a trick, and we're going to talk about that
Hang
in
on.
just a little minute.
Yeah, Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, you're listening to Home Wizards.